Hey, so I'm really drained and I've got a cough, so sorry if I have to cough during this. Um, but I just had the second half of my assessment for autism. It was intense. Fortunately, there weren't any more tasks. I asked her at the beginning if there were going to be any more scary tasks, and she said no. So it was just questions, but it was a lot of questions, and I'm quite exhausted because it was supposed to be like the guide was like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I was there like about 3 hours. That included a little bit of time at the beginning where she was reading over um, the documents I brought her. I brought a list that I compiled of various sort of symptoms and examples that I thought fit the diagnostic criteria for different bits, and I brought a letter which my colleague had written in support, with some behavioural examples included, because she's basically what instigated this whole process. It was her who suggested that maybe I should be assessed originally, and she offered to write me a supporting letter after checking out what I'd put together, which was really kind of her, and she really didn't have to. It's so above and beyond what she needed to do, but I'm so grateful to her because she's literally changed the course of my life. And it turns out that my assessor was trained by my colleague as well in delivering ADOS. She wasn't the same person who did my ADOS, but yeah, so she knew my colleague, so her letter actually was even more helpful, I think. So yeah, there was a bit of time at the beginning where she read over those, and there was a bit of time at the end where she told me to go out and wait in the waiting room while she looked over all of her notes and everything to make a decision, but she wasn't very long. And the rest of it was all just like questions, loads of questions about various different things throughout my life, about social stuff and things I've struggled with and routines and all the things you'd expect. I was so nervous about it, and even up till this morning, I wasn't sure one way or the other. I didn't know whether I'd be diagnosed or not. I certainly have a lot of traits of autism. That much was clear when I compiled all the stuff together, and I guess my autism specialist colleagues don't see things in me for no reason, but I also knew that I'd struggled to prove the developmental stuff when I didn't take anybody with me, and I don't really remember loads from my childhood. So I answered all her questions as best I could. I basically gave her a summary of my life history over the course of the time, and yeah, at the end she diagnosed me with Asperger's syndrome. So yeah, I don't, yeah, it's just a lot. I don't know how I feel. I think initially I kind of felt a little bit like similar to like I was in shock sort of thing. I've felt quite detached and overwhelmed since. I didn't know what to do with myself. She's going to refer me because they offer some post diagnostic support. So she's going to refer me to some groups, because she gave me all the options of the different groups that they run and asked me which one sounded good, but I struggled to sort of decide on the spot, because I was quite overwhelmed, and it's hard to take it all in and decide. But she said that she'll refer me, and then I can decide once they send the information and stuff. So that's good. It's just I don't know what to do now. I don't know what this means, so I'm just quite overwhelmed with it, I think. Everything's a bit achy as well, and my head hurts. So yeah, afterwards I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go and how to process it, so I walked about 10-15 minutes down the road, and I went and got a coffee. Well, a decaf coffee, because I knew that caffeine plus overwhelm probably wasn't great, but I needed to do something and be somewhere, and sit down and take some deep breaths and try and ground myself a little bit. So I did that, and then I bought a ready meal for dinner, like a Slimming World one, so that I'm not actually completely falling off of that. But it's an easy thing because I'm so drained I don't think I could make dinner right now. I haven't told many people. I told my colleague, who I mentioned before, and someone else who messaged me, coincidentally, who I said I was going for the assessment today, but she didn't know before that. She asked how it went, how I was, so I briefly told her, and I've posted it on like a group on Facebook that I don't really know anyone in real life from that group, so it feels safe. But and I've just told one of my best friends, who texted to ask how it went. I haven't heard back from her yet. I think I'm not gonna go out of my way to tell people unless they message me, because I'm not sure I'm very capable of having conversations with people right now. I might be more able than I think I am because I'm able to make this, but this is easier because there's no one else involved. I just have to talk at my own pace. And also I really want to document this for myself, and maybe for anybody else who's going through it, that I can send the link to, or I don't know what for, but it just feels like a really important moment in my life and I wanted to mark it, because my memory's so bad that I often don't remember a lot of stuff, and so this seemed like a sensible solution to that for the future. But yeah, I don't know what this means. I feel like I have to reframe everything, and who like the whole concept of who I am and my identity is gonna shift, and I think about the past, and if it had been identified earlier, and what maybe things would have been different. Maybe I wouldn't have struggled so much for over 15 years with my mental health and relationships and things I didn't even realize I struggled with, or yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't really have many more words on this right now, but it's just a lot to process. I don't really know what to do with myself, and my head really hurts. So I think for now I'm just gonna curl up in bed and hopefully I'll like feel better and more grounded in a bit. But yeah, so I have Asperger's syndrome, whatever that might mean for the future. Yeah, that's all documented, and that's all. Yeah, finished. All right, bye.